Welcome back to the show. Last week we had the opportunity to attend the V&A Gala up at the former King Ridge Ski Lodge, which now has been converted to a private home. And we heard from some of the people there about their memories of what the lodge used to be like. We'd like to share some of those memories with you now.
My cousin George Breed Thompson had been living up in New London for quite some time, and he said, we're going to have a ski area up here in this hill. So I came up, and as Donnie Clark knows, George Thompson told me that I should come up and see. And I came up and I parked my Volkswagen little Beetle over there, and the towers were coming and so forth. So we bought a place. Actually, Hank Kidder and Polly sold us some land at Twin Lake Villa. We built a little cabin.
Oh, King Ridge was the community. Going from the old rope tows down on Bunker Road to up here was like black and white. You know, we had real snow and real terrain, and we had real lifts like the big areas had, and the community loved us. The college loved us. The college had all their racing up here, their training up here. They were a big part of the area itself.
I remember it being very strange that you started at the top and ended up at the bottom, and then took lifts up to the top again.
It was a magical place. There's no question about that.
The kids learned to ski here. They quickly left me on Mock Turtle and went on up to the Black Diamonds. It was a wonderful time of life, and we really enjoyed King Ridge.
It was really neat that you could kind of just drop your kids and then somebody else would watch them, and then maybe the next time you were the parent that was kind of in charge.
When my kids were skiing here, it was like taking them to school. I could bring them over, drop them off, and I could come back later and they'd say, oh, are you looking for Justin? And I'd say yes, and they'd tell me exactly what slope he was on, and it was just a really nice place to have in the neighborhood.
Missy bought me my first snowboard, and I attempted to teach myself here, and was humbled. But you had to pass a test. You were not allowed on the mountain. It was such a new thing, and there were plenty of people coming across the parking lot that couldn't even walk in ski boots, and they made me take a test.
I remember seeing the Mad Hatter, of course, and Alice and the Rabbit, and I liked the way the trails were marked, and it was fun looking at the sort of caricatures of all the different characters. It was a lot of fun.
I think the theme made it magical, the Alice in Wonderland theme and the Mad Hatter skiing around, and it was a special place for families and children. There's no question about that.
These were the days with very little snowmaking. These were the days when we did a lot of work, volunteer work, to make the whole show come together. And it was a very close group, the ski school, the ski patrol, even the cafeteria people.
Missy had a locker, and how convenient was that? It was like, $50 a winter or some ridiculous thing like that. And you'd come up and you could put all your stuff in it, and you didn't have, that was the beauty of coming here. You didn't have to schlep all your equipment up. You just got a ride, and like I said, everybody was going home after, so you were guaranteed a lift home.
So we came up here, and Penny was over there by the top of the King or whatever it was, and Dick Emerson said to her, little girl, would you like to ski down through these flags? So Penny skied through the flags, and he said, you're on the ski team. And that's the way it all started with us.
It did have a magical quality to it in terms of the fact that it was such a safe place for everybody to be, and the families that were here had a great time.
The families would come up from wherever, a lot of them from right here in town, and it would be a drop-off place for the kids, and I'd hear the moms say, now, use your 50 cents for the cocoa.
And we were known as the place to learn to ski. It was called B-Day, Beginner Day. It includes the lessons, the rentals, and you got your lunch as well.
This was a great place to learn to snowboard because the terrain was flat. The lift was fairly easy to ride, and the terrain would have lent itself to a phenomenal terrain park, but the snowboarding crowd and the crowd from New London probably wouldn't have made a great mix.
And I saw my most wild outfits here, white outfits with big white cowboy hats and white feathers.
and then we had our wedding reception over here in the lodge 25 years ago this year, so it's kind of neat to come back up.
I was shocked when it closed. It was just, I'd never thought, that King Ridge would ever close. I just never would have dreamed that. It was such a staple for our community and our economy and our lives, and it was a real loss when it closed.
We appreciate all the people that took the time to share their memories with us at the gala last week. When we return, Gail Matthews continues her interview with New Hampshire Poet Laureate Maxine Kumin. We'll be back in a moment.